Hey, everybody, and welcome to the One Lane Road podcast. And we are operating from the beautiful Del Hollow Lake right now. What about that, Big Dustin?
Yeah, this is up here on top of Mr. Shane Keith's houseboat and Chris Lee. Been nice enough. We're up here. This is something we've been talking about for a couple weeks, and Shane's nice enough to
Big Shane coming in here with the beautiful spot up here on Del Hollow Lake. And I'll tell you what, being able to see this far on this beautiful lake, that's something, ain't it?
There ain't nothing wrong with this. We can do this every week. This may be official headquarters from now on.
I might learn to swim if I could do something like this every week.
They might reckon they got floaties in your arm size.
I don't know. I doubt it. But you know what I might be able to do is find a good 2XL, 3XL life jacket and put it on me. I don't know about that, but
we'll get Waylon down here and give you some swimming lessons.
Waylon, come up here and give me some swimming lessons here in a minute.
This is a little more inspiring than your dining room and your basement and
it's
the
a
closet.
lot better.
Good God, it's a lot better in the closet.
Oh man, this is much better in the closet. You know, at least when we sat at the dining room table, we could see the road through Highway 52.
Yep. So this is an upgrade, and we appreciate you.
Quite a bit of an upgrade there.
Well, okay. So we're coming into it this week. We led with the tease last week that you had the baby reveal.
Baby reveal
coming up, and last night
did it last night. So my wife found a 3-foot black balloon and filled it full of confetti and put some, y'all can probably still see me sparkling right now. I look like one of those cats off of, what was that?
Should have researched this before you started.
One of those vampire and werewolf show that those kids always like.
Yeah, I'm not dorky enough to know what
I don't know. Anyway, I've still got glitter all over me from this thing last night.
So did y'all know is the question?
I did. You know, after we talked about how cool it was for us to not know and everything.
You cheated.
I cheated. I really cheated.
So did you want to hold out or what?
No. I wanted to hold out, and Kara, poor old Kara, she couldn't handle it. So she's gonna kill me after this because I really wanted to know too, really, but I could have waited another 2 or 3 days. I'm sucking up now, is what it is.
Damage control.
Damage control.
Throwing your wife under the bus.
Yeah. But no, poor Kara, she can't. She picks up Christmas presents and shakes them. She can't handle it.
Yeah, well, I wished you'd have held out. You could have held out. What day you went to the doctor? Wednesday?
No, we went Tuesday. We went Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You couldn't have held out those amount of days.
I couldn't. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
We'll reveal the news. It's
a little boy, Camden Eugene.
Dustin Hickman.
Camden Eugene Dustin Roger Elliott Kennedy Hickman.
That's like a Dikembe Mutombo name.
There you go.
8 names.
Yeah, little boy. We filled this 3-foot balloon up with blue and brown confetti, and we got in front of everybody. We wound up having 31 people in our house yesterday. Got everybody outside and popped this big 3-foot balloon and blew confetti everywhere.
Well, that's always, like I told you the earlier episode when we started talking about it, it's kind of the cliched answer. You just want a healthy baby.
Yeah.
But every man wants a boy.
You know, I didn't care. I didn't care one way or another whether it was a boy or a girl. But God, it was a big load off my mind whenever it was a little boy.
It's always nice to get the boy out of the way. That way, your legacy continues and that last name continues and whatnot. It was for me, I
wasn't as worried about the legacy as I was that having a little girl. I didn't want to pay for my teenage years or coming up through there.
Well, if you're scared about your teenage years,
I'm scared about your teenage years. Really, is what I was worried about.
I damn sure don't need a girl. That's for sure.
That's right.
Goodness gracious.
You just got to worry about one thing and not 100,000 things. Whenever you got a little boy coming up,
I know the reference you're talking about. It's not 100,000 things. You know what you're talking about.
There you go.
You got to worry about one, not all.
That's right. You got to worry about one of them, not all of them. Yeah, you gotta pay for your raisins sometimes in there, and I was a little worried about it. I was a little worried, and then we was sitting in there watching, and I kept saying, you don't have to worry about it, whatever it is, as long as it's got 10 fingers, 10 toes, you don't have to worry about it. And then she said, right there's the little boy parts. I went, oh my God, thanks so much, But whatever it would have been, I'd have been happy. But it was just that. At least if I have a little girl second, now I've got something to take care of her. Whenever I'm old and feeble and can't walk around anymore, then I've got it figured out now.
Did the head take up the whole ultrasound?
You'd be so surprised, or you may not even be surprised. she was going, wow, its head measures a little ahead of the rest of its body. You know, its head measures 2 weeks ahead of everything else. I said,
well, that makes all the sense in the world.
I said, no, that don't surprise me a bit, honey. That's about where I expected it.
Me and Crystal are sort of like Dustin and Lindsay. We've got 2 boys, raised 2 boys. And,
yeah.
When we had our first grandbaby, me and Crystal were really excited. We were like, we were really both wanting a girl. I was wanting a boy for Devin because, I knew Devin was like me. He's like, I really want a boy, get it out of the way, like Dustin said. But Bo Avery, he's, he's the joy of my life now.
Yeah.
It's grandkids are a whole different kind of love. You'll know that one day. It's coming.
Yeah.
You're going to love this child, and it's a whole different kind of love you've never had. But we might get us a girl.
Yeah.
The Keiths are real big for boys. But,
yeah.
We might get us a girl one day.
You bring that up and about the whole different love. I was reading some stuff from who's the guy that played Deadpool recently? Ryan.
Van Wilder's what I know.
Yeah, Van Wilder. Van Wilder's married to Blake Lively.
Ryan Reynolds.
There you go. And he said when he met Blake Lively, he knew with all his heart that he would take a bullet for Blake Lively. He said, but after his child come through, he knew in his heart that he would drag Blake Lively in front of a bullet for that child. And I always thought that says a lot about the way a child comes in.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I never had a lot of cares in the world. I was pretty free spirit, and you get your kids, and I tell you, when you start thinking about stuff, the way the world's going, and the crazy as everybody's getting, and you just worry every time your kid wants to do something. I'm the worry wart of our marriage.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it is. But I'm just I was kind of sheltered a little bit as a kid. As far as my parents were kind of protective, and until they were until I got to do what I wanted later on. But which is probably why I acted a fool because I was so sheltered. But like Lindsay, when we went to the mountains last year, and she let Waylon bungee jump.
Mm-hmm.
And I was scared to death. I wouldn't do it my damn self.
Waylon bungee jumped
at 8 years old.
Oh my God!
Because Lindsay doesn't see. I don't know where she's from. Salina doesn't have any common sense.
Don't see any fear or something.
No, I'm just kidding. Salina. It's more Hamilton than Salina. No, but she just don't. She don't see fear in anything, and it scares the hell out of me sometimes. The stuff that she wants to skydive. And I told her, I said, we've got a nice insurance policy on you, so just whenever you get ready.
We got that life insurance policy on Lindsay.
So, no, I don't, she's definitely the one that she doesn't see, like the other day, we were riding Bayless just around in the yard in the Rhino, and then she wanted to go across the road to Paws, and I said, we can't get this kid out on the road in the Rhino, and she just, I don't know, I'm just
Well, I tell you how I know you worry more than she does. The other day, we was down at your house after Rick's house after the ride or whatever. Waylon took off in the Rhino, and Dustin said, "Hey, is that okay? You think he'll be all right? Is he going to be okay?" Lindsay said, "Shut up, just let him go. Well, he'll be all right." And I thought, well, look at that.
Then I was riding it with him 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I would say, and then 2 minutes later, Dustin ran out there and just got in with him. He couldn't handle it.
It was fun to ride out there with him.
Yeah, it was good.
Sometimes you think when you get that second one, he just kind of. You don't want him to be acting like he's forgotten, because you're Googling and goggling over the baby all the time. You don't want him to think that, he's not important either.
Let's take a little second here. That third voice you just heard was Shane Keith. That's our the guy who's letting us ride his houseboat here. If anybody's wondering who that was, that's Shane Keith.
Hey guys, first time
talker.
First time
talker, big time listener.
I've known Shane my whole life, and I've never seen him freeze up like that ever. Hey, I tell you what,
these microphones stare at you a little bit, don't they? Look at all them eyes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they stare at you. Yeah.
I was going to say, long time listener, first time talker.
There you go.
And I got tongue tied.
Shane's been one of our best listeners since day one, and he's messaged us and give us his input. And then last couple of weeks, he said, "Hey, man, come up here to the houseboat." And I just thought it was a cool idea, and I was thinking,
man.
and I said, please, Lucas, let's do it. And I was thinking before I run by Lucas, please let Lucas agree on it.
Yeah. Well, the only reason he was worried is because I can't swim. I'm scared to death of water, so he thought there's no way I'd ever come up here.
So you're up here every weekend, just chilling at your houseboat.
Yeah, we just come up here and chill and hang out. And when you told me you're like, on episode last week, you're like, Lucas is like, we're on our way. Yeah. I was like, I started breaking nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to get everything set up. What do I need?
Yeah.
And, I was been like nervous all day.
But. Well, that's good. You was worried about it, but like he said, we've been in a basement, we've been in a closet, we've been everywhere else. We don't even care where we're at. Just as long as it goes, it's all right with us.
Right. I just wanted you guys to have a good time, and I thought, it's summertime. When you think of summertime, us growing up around here, what do you think? Del Hollow Lake.
Man.
What a better setting to have the podcast, and I'm glad you guys come in.
Oh, we're so glad that you let us come up here. This is probably literally my fifth time being up here, maybe sixth time ever being on the lake. God almighty. Yeah, I'm from Hermitage Springs, and I bet this is probably the fifth time I've ever been up here.
There's two good things about Salina. One, the lake. Two, leaving Salina. And that's it. And three, Dusty Smith and all them boys. No,
there you go.
I'm getting in trouble. We have Salina listeners, so I'm just kidding. But the spring Grimmy's always got to give you a little hell.
Yeah, we didn't have the lake. We had Brimstone where we was from. So
that's right. I'll take Brimstone.
You want to go get on a muddy river or real
big
creek?
We'll
go do that.
Shane's got it looking good up here, man.
Man, it's awesome up here. Shane, we appreciate the hell out of it.
He's fixing his wake up. That's another cuss word, Lucas, if you don't mind.
That's three. It was the same one 3 times. I'm going to calm down right here.
You better settle down.
It is Sunday.
I better stop.
I'm looking like the golden child over here, the halo over my head.
Yeah, I've got a few weeks to catch up with you.
Potty mouth. That one night when James was up there and we were talking about it, Lucas said, "Man, you kind of cussing a little bit this week." We took a break there, and he said, "You cussing?" I went, "Oh, just let me be me."
He told me 3 times, "Just let me be me. Let me be me. Let me be me."
We'll work it out.
5:35 the next Monday morning, he called me, said, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I cussed too much."
Yeah, but like I said, shoot. If you're sitting there with your lifelong friend and we're going at it, it's going to happen.
Is what it is.
It's going to happen. So I'm just giving Lucas a hard time.
Why? Yeah.
But now Shane's definitely going to find me up here he's going to come out one night. I'm going to have a sleeping bag on top of his daggum houseboat here.
You'll be wrapped up in that hammock over there before too much longer. I guarantee that.
We'll talk about hammocks in a minute.
Yeah.
Because it was just my anniversary.
Yeah. You wound up. You were supposed to come to the baby reveal yesterday. But what happened to you?
Well,
you can't tell nobody that it's your anniversary. You can't tell anybody you ain't going to be there. You said, yeah, I'll be there. And then about 6 o'clock, somebody, no, I ain't going to make it, man. I ain't gonna be there.
Well, way to put me on the spot for being a crappy friend.
Somebody's in trouble.
I'll be at your next 3 baby reveals. I promise.
Go. Yeah.
We had planned on, because I'm romantic.
Guy. Hold it. Go ahead.
The bullshit level just went up a little bit on that.
Just went to the roof right there.
That one BS covers your 3 hells. And I told Lindsay, I said, let's go do something together. This is about a week ago. I said, let's just go hang out a little bit. And and I hadn't been to, I'm a big fan of Nashville.
Oh yeah.
Breaking news on the One Lane Road podcast. I'm a big fan of Nashville. Thank you. And so we went down yesterday, and Brandon and Casey joined us. They didn't have their kids this weekend, so they decided we double dated. I think she wasn't going to agree to go to Nashville, and just me and her. And I said, "Hey, Brandon and Casey, they go with." She's like, "Oh yeah, we'll get a babysitter then." I think my wife hates me that much that she just don't want to go.
She does. She really does.
I think she does. Yeah. And we went down all excited. It was me, Lindsay, Brandon, and Casey, and about 64,000 homosexuals.
Oh, it was
the gay
pride rig one.
Yeah, and not that there's anything wrong with that. We're not saying that. I'm just saying it was funny because I didn't know.
Did Brandon have to hook up Casey and Lindsay to keep people off of him?
Pretty son of a gun.
Yeah, that pretty son of a gun.
No, we kept him sheltered. I don't think
he had to. You had to.
I don't know if anybody had their gaydar on Brandon yesterday or not, but
they said he's pretty. God Almighty, he's pretty.
But no, it was a good time, man. We went down to there's not a better view in Nashville right now than like the big thing in Nashville going on is the rooftop bars. Like everybody's getting a rooftop situation.
Whenever Dustin and I went down to actually start, to buy this stuff, we wound up, we just left one day to go buy a mixer and microphones and everything. We wound up on the rooftop of, it was the Possums.
Yeah, that's where I went yesterday. George Jones.
George Jones's museum. What bar was that in?
It's the George Jones Museum.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
And Tootsie's has got one, Rippy's has got one. Like a lot of them on Broadway have them, but you're really just looking at down at Broadway. Just looking at moving traffic, moving people, and I like to people watch, but it's always so crowded at Tootsie's.
Yeah.
Broadway is just ridiculous. We were there at 4:00 yesterday, and there were all three levels were just elbow to elbow.
Yeah.
And after the second person that steps on my wife, she's ready to get redneck on somebody. So she just
she's loaded with it, ain't she?
But we
who is that? Hey, come on up here, whoever it is.
Yeah, well, I know you go to concerts a lot, and have you been to the new amphitheater in Nashville?
No, I hadn't been yet. I'd like to. I've heard it looks really cool.
What is it?
It's the Ascend Amphitheater. Of course, a lot of us old school guys, we all went to Starwood, and everybody knows Starwood.
Yeah.
And me and Seth went to a concert back in May. Went and seen Rob Zombie and Disturbed. I'm a big Rob Zombie fan. But, but anyway, it is a real cool setting, and it's right there downtown. And, it's within walking distance of Broad Street. Joe's Crab Shack's just right across the street, and me and Seth love Joe's Crab Shack.
Yeah.
That's where we ate it yesterday, actually.
And when we go to the beach, me and Seth and Devin, we drop like 36 oysters, raw oysters every meal.
Yeah.
But,
get riled up afterwards, don't you?
But the Ascend, I'm really glad that Nashville, when they shut Starwood down, that they did build something else back, and it is a very cool place. If you guys ever get a chance to go to a concert there, definitely check out Ascend.
Shoot, yeah.
Well, the dumbest thing they done was shut Starwood. That was one of the best things they had going around that. That was my very first concert, Rockin' Randall, Bo Cephas, Hank Jr. That was then I seen Kid Rock there 2 weeks later.
And his short country stint he had there.
Well, like I said last week, you can Kid Rock. He does anything he wants, rap, rock.
Yeah,
country,
that's whatever he wants to do. Yeah.
So I do agree with Ascend, and they've got Riverfront right down there when they do the CMA Fest. Nashville's just such a cool town, and we went down. Like I said, we went to Joe's Crab Shack and didn't eat a whole lot. We usually get that big bucket, with the crab legs and shrimp and all the sausage stuff. When we ate there at Myrtle Beach a couple years ago, I had a big bushy beard on vacation, and I was damn trying to get crab leg to smell and all that seafood out of my beard and smelled it for 2 or 3 days. It's disgusting, I just tore in on it. And we went down there, Joe's Crab Shack. And then, like I said, the George Jones thing is so cool because the view is beautiful. You're overlooking the river there, and you see Ascend Amphitheater, you see Titan Stadium, which always gets me fired up just sitting there and looking at the stadium, knowing can't wait to see them get their ass kicked in there in a few months.
They did a pretty good facelift on the Titan Stadium down there. I mean, when you look at it from where we was at the other day, it looked pretty good. It's the Nissan Stadium now, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they've tried. Nothing will ever be as good as Never mind. I'll edit that out. Yeah, they did a little facelift on it, and that's one thing they can say about the Titans, but they've put some money in that stadium in the last few years. They've put that new big Jumbotron, which is the second biggest in the NFL behind Jerry's World.
Oh, yeah.
And, they've done some cool things, and I think they're on the upswing. So, yeah, I was excited to see just to hang out there. Then went to Tootsie's and Legends, made the rounds, just a few little places. And like I said, I like people watch, and there's about 87 bachelorette parties we messed with yesterday. And I'm to the point I don't even believe people really go on bachelorette. I mean, I don't believe half of them are actually bachelorette. They just dress up so they can get all the free perks of Nashville.
Yeah, they throw that sash on just to see what they can get, right?
And that's what I do. That's what women do anyway. They use us all anyway in bars. It's just stuff like that. They lie and to get whatever free drinks, however they want. So they know if they put a little sash on.
That's their one last show, right?
Yeah. So
what'd you wind up getting her for your anniversary?
Well, I'm sweet. There's many times that
You're sweet as they come.
Like one year, I give her a hard time. Like one year we went to Myrtle Beach for our anniversary on a vacation. She woke up to some Lenny and Eva stuff laying by the bed that morning. I woke up to a woman drooling on a pillow. And she's like, I didn't think we was getting each other nothing. So every now and then I give her a hard time about that. But of course I'd got her some things for Mother's Day, and she hooked me up this year on Father's Day. She went all out. She got me a some new cornhole boards and
there you go.
Something else. I forget the other thing. Oh, Waylon painted me a little board that had Kennedy written on it.
There you go.
And then she got me the old White House, my Bell's house, Emma Bell's house down there. There's a painting that my aunt's former sister-in-law painted for Daddy, or she made the original copy for Paul, and give Rhonda and Daddy a copy, just the old White House. And I'd always wanted one, so she sent off and got me a canvas made of that. Just cool. That house means a lot to me. So she hooked me up this year for Father's Day, but this year I said, she said, well, I got you just a little something. And I said, I thought we wouldn't buy each other anything for anniversary. We bought that rhino, so it was good enough. Yeah. That was our anniversary gift to each other, and going on vacation next month. And she bought me a hammock, of all things, because apparently, like, one time I said I wanted a
hammock at some point.
Yeah, I was like, boy, it'd be cool to have a hammock.
Yeah.
And Shane's got the hammock that I wanted.
Oh, it's right there. Yeah,
nice.
I see it. Yeah.
I said, well, honey, if we ever lay up at the house and, we want to romance and lay out on the hammock together, and because if we do that so much, and
eat up with that, right?
Yeah. So if we do that, I need this big hammock. Well, she went and got me a hammock. She's like, do you like it? I said, yeah, it's a little small, looks like. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's just a little smaller. I said, well, it'll be one at a time, one person at a time on this thing. And then I said, oh, hell. I said, what? She said, the weight limit's 175 pounds. I said, I
can't get any by myself right now.
I said, I had damn braces last time I weighed 175 pounds. And she said, here, let me just tie it up. So the stubborn old Hamilton in her, she gets tying it up on the tree. She said, sit in it. And it basically touched the ground after my face.
Yeah.
After I sit up in it. And I said, well, I ain't got too far to fall when I crack my tailbone here when I break this thing. And I just got her a dress. She's a big... I've refused to buy any more Lenny and Eva jewelry.
Yeah,
she's got more jewelry than Mr. T. She needs to chill on the jewelry for a little while. So I bought her a little dress.
That's cool.
Just something simple because I know he's going to Nashville.
Yeah,
and but no, that trip, man, it was fun. We saw Jessica,
our old friend Jessica McDuffie. That's now Robbie
Cox.
Robbie Cox. Yeah, married to Robbie
and Elwood.
Oh, you seen that rod too, huh?
Yep. Head bigger than yours.
Ain't no way. I mean, it's bald, but other than that,
bald and beautiful. Well,
bald and beautiful. Elrod.
He said, "I can't believe you picked Lucas to be your co-host, not me."
Hey, Elrod. Nobody. He didn't pick me. I picked him.
That's what I told him. I said I didn't have the balls to do it. Lucas got me to do it.
There you go.
So we visited with them. They were going. Her friend Rachel was in from London, of all places.
Rachel Thomas, really?
Who just falls in love and moves to London?
Nobody. Who wants to go get rained on all the time?
I don't know. I don't know. Does it rain there a lot?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, I don't even want to visit there, much less live there. But she was coming in, and she's not got an accent, or she still sounds like the old MTSU redneck that I met.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's.
But yeah, we visited with them for a little while at the prestigious Tequila Cowboy, and then we moved on back to the George Jones visit with for a little while. And actually, then I was going back to the car. We were going back, and Keely Cherry hollered at me.
That's random.
Yeah. She her and her boyfriend was coming downtown, I guess, to do what we were doing, and I heard somebody holler my name, and I turned around, and it's Keely just at a red light there on Broadway.
Cool. Yeah.
So, Shane, you was talking about something before we started recording here. Just down the lake, that's something I never heard of, and you said you've never seen. You want to give a share on that?
Yeah, we were sitting here yesterday, and it's this weekend on Del Hollow Lake. It's Operation Safe Lake, I think is what they were calling it, and they had the first ever roadblock on Del Hollow Lake.
Roadblock on the lake, huh?
We had a roadblock on the lake. We sit here on top of the boat, and there were 4 game warden boats out there. Blue lights are running, and it was just like a regular roadblock. Boats were coming up, and when they turned around,
they went and got them, huh?
Oh, they went and got them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a life jacket check. Of course, in the state of Tennessee.
Oh, I bet people didn't think that was happening.
No, I'd say everybody thought it was a blue can container.
Yeah, there
check.
you go.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. And, the lake's here to have fun and everything, and that's what me and Dustin were talking about earlier. You hope everybody's staying safe. I mean, you come up to have fun. But But you still got, you're on the water. You're in 100 foot of water.
Yeah.
So, you've got to stay safe. And they were doing a good job. And we sit here and watched them for a while, and they didn't harass nobody, But
other than those people that turned around and tried to get away from them.
Other than the people that turned around, they probably had a little trouble.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. But it was the first time I've been on this lake my whole life. I've never seen a roadblock on Del Hollow Lake.
Yeah.
Never.
That's probably for people like me that didn't know how to swim. It's probably checking them life jackets.
I just go show you they're taking the safety to another level.
Well, they need to. I seen a sign when I come in that said there's been zero drownings on this lake with a life jacket, and 135 people that didn't have life jackets drowned on this lake. That's pretty impressive.
Well, we've all done it. You can get up there on the bluffs and the bridges and the dams and people that jump off and I got a question here to my right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I was waving a guy off. We've got a houseboat coming in, and the guy, he was hollering at me, and I was trying to wave him off. But
that's been a joke. We said when James come in, he raised his hand like when he could talk. I thought Shane was raising his hand again. We said that's what James done when he sit in with us. He raised his hand like he was in history class.
Yeah.
Hey, Dustin, I got a question.
I got a question, Dustin. That whole life jacket check thing, that's probably pretty good. There's people like me that want to come up here and fit in or whatever, and then don't want to admit to the fact they can't swim when they get out here in 100 foot of water, and then next thing you know, they're walking on the bottom of the lake, and that's probably not the way to go.
I was out with a friend of mine yesterday, and we went on the pontoon, and we were floating, and of course, when I get out there and float, I throw a life jacket out, just to float on, and I was getting ready to dive in. It was the first time I'd been out on the lake with this guy, and he's like, "Can you swim?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, yeah, I can swim." He said, "Well, I just ask everybody, because you didn't have a life jacket with you."
Yeah.
And, of course, it is a good thing. You never know. We had one guy last year, he fell off the back of a boat, and it was like 3 weeks later before they found him.
Oh.
So, the lake's here for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's clear, and it's just a good thing if you're going to get out and have fun and enjoy adult activities. Just wear a life jacket.
Let's put one on. It ain't that bad.
Or have one with you or something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I Googled life jackets before I come up here. That way I could determine how cool life jackets were. That way I could tell if they were going to be those big green and blue things that they was in the 1980s whenever I had to put one on. And I thought, I'm not going to put a life jacket on, but I'm going to throw one on now.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. If me and Waylon's going to go off the slide here in just a little bit. And, I'm going to throw one out there.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to have it to sit out there and float on, just like I did all day yesterday. So.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to wear them. And just kids do. Kids absolutely do. But like me, all of us adults are out there. You sit on them like diapers. Just sit out and kind of chill out in the water there and hang out.
Well, I was in St. Lucia. And they gave us a life jacket you had to blow up yourself. You put it around your neck, and they gave you a little spout that said just blow it up to as far as you want it to blow up to. And, man, when I blew that thing up, it looked like one of those big inner tubes that you'd be seeing out here at the lake. I mean, it was tight as it could be. I thought, well, I can't swim, but forget it. It's as tight as it can be. I'm going to go out here in it and see what it does, and it worked. It kept me afloat.
Talking about the cops and everything with that roadblock. You was telling us a funny story off air earlier about going to the UT game a few years ago.
Yeah, the Missouri, they joined the SEC back a few years ago, and we were talking about the Nissan Stadium earlier and everything. And open container laws, guys, just for your benefit, I'm going to let you guys know. The open container laws in Nashville and Knoxville are totally different. We've got some good friends out in Missouri, and they came down. Of course, unfortunately, Missouri beat Tennessee the first time we ever played them in football.
A lot of people have beaten Tennessee the last few years.
Well, I know, but it was the first meeting, and it was in Knoxville, so you hope to win. But so we were. I really wanted a taco. And the Anthony fan's going to get a big kick out of this. I really wanted a taco, and I told the guys, I said, Taco Bell's across the street. And so I asked everybody, does anybody want – I didn't want to go eat and not invite everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be rude.
Right.
And poor OA, he's like, yeah, I'll go with you. He didn't even want a taco. He's just like, I'm going to go with you. So we walk out of the bar, and it's like a bar like you and Dustin were talking about.
Yeah.
Got the balconies and stuff.
Yeah.
And, so we come out, we bump bellies with these two big cops, and they're like, all right, guys, pour those out. So being the good citizen I am, turned right around, throwed mine in the trash can.
Let's get rid of that. That's what the cop said, right?
Let's get rid of that.
Yeah.
The cop said throw it away.
Let's get rid of it.
Just pour it out.
Yeah.
So, but the key word here was pour it out.
Yeah.
So I turn around and look, Anthony's bottles straight up in there.
He's pouring it out.
He's pouring it out.
Right in his mouth.
What do you do? So
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, okay, smart asses, let me have y'all's IDs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I don't know this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight threw him under the bus.
Who's this guy?
Threw his boy under the bus.
Threw him under the bus.
Threw him under the bus,
Yeah.
and so anyway, we both wound up getting a ticket, and just to let you guys know, it's $116
There you go,
in
boy.
Knoxville.
Yep.
I've walked around UT games open containers, so it really confuses me. I think they hoodooed you on that.
They might have got you.
Well, I'm sure we had on our UT stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know if they thought we were out of town or what.
Yeah, right.
When they seen our IDs, they knew we were just a couple hours down the road. So
Yeah.
We've
So
had
if
a
it sounded
collision
like
over here.
if it sounded like he lost attention for a minute, somebody just slammed into the dock while we was up here.
Yeah. The Titanic over here just
Yep.
ran into the iceberg.
He's backing up as we speak. Right
yeah,
here.
I'm gonna run over here and
And
see
check
what's
this
going
out
on.
real quick.
He must have just bought that thing.
Yeah.
Good God.
Not only did he just buy it, he just might have
bought
bought part of this boat. Because that wasn't the dock, that was this boat. All right, we're back from that. So turns out it was just the neighbor coming back home. Seemed like everything's good now, though, ain't it?
Oh yeah, we got them in, we got them tied up.
Yeah, we got them put back where they're supposed to be there.
Those things are hard to get in. You really need help.
Hey, these boats are big. They're a lot bigger than what they look.
They're big, and when the wind's blowing, it's just like having a big kite out there. You
Oh,
know?
yeah,
It
yeah.
just takes off with you.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a boat, but that made me think different about it right there.
I can barely ride a bicycle, much
Yeah.
less drive a big houseboat into a
Yeah, put in a
small
slip. Yeah,
slip.
yeah.
Shane was talking about that about his buddy with the cops, and the cops are pretty cool at Titans games because obviously I go to several every year, and remember one year me and two of our friends. I've learned from the first story not to throw people on the bus too bad about it was Hatcher and Brent, and and we were going to go downtown or something. So Brent decides he needs a little apple pie.
Yeah.
That's in our on our vehicle. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a little hungry for some apple pie shine. And as we go back, we're trying to cross the road, and he pulls it out right there in front of the cop. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And the cops are like, "Hey, guys, you can't have those." He's like, "Well, I got this too." I was like, "Are you? What is wrong with you?" And the cop's like, "Pour it out." He's like, "No, it's just God, what did he say? He tried to play it off something. The cop's like, "I'm not stupid," I was
Right.
like, and Brent always tried to push it. Brent pushes the limit.
That's why he is who he is too.
Yeah.
That's why he gets away with so much stuff because he tries his limits every now and again.
We were in Nashville one time, and this years ago, he was single. He was single, man. He had no girlfriend or nothing. We were just kind of at a bar there, and there's this guy and girl, and the other guy's about 6'6", about like Brent is. And he goes, "Hey, buddy, come here." And the guy comes back there, and he says, "Just want to tell you, you got the best-looking girl in the bar."
He told that to Brent.
No, Brent told this guy that.
Oh, yeah.
No, because
yeah.
I was the guy with Brent, and so obviously
Yeah.
he wouldn't say any of the best-looking girl. And
How'd that go?
And I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Watch. It's an angle. It'll work. Watch."
Yeah.
So he goes back up, and the guy whispers to his girlfriend. I guess she's probably I was like, "What's he want?
Yeah.
And what do he want?" And so obviously he told me he had the best looking girl in the bar. I had the best looking girl in the bar.
Yeah.
The girl turns around.
Fast forward.
smiles at Brent like just and so he
game over.
Yeah.
So
I always thought I was within an inch of getting my butt kicked every time I'm out with Brent in Nashville because he's always chirping to somebody about something. But yeah, so he the cop didn't find it too hilarious about the apple pie and made it poor. I was like, well, that'd been great to have downtown if you wouldn't have been such a jerk to the cop. And think you can get away with everything.
Yeah. So, well, the thing about Big Duff is, he's probably talked to more cops than we have. Being up there at his mama's bar and what have you. He's probably talked to more state troopers and cops and everything else than what you and I ever, hopefully ever will.
Yeah, well, it's different talking to somebody at your bar when you're bartending or when you're there at your mom's bar in Hermitage Springs.
Well, I don't know that cops. It is. I mean, if you're cool one way or the other, I don't know if it's different. Either way,
Metro cops don't care how cool you are.
Oh yeah,
I promise you.
I've not been down there enough to know.
No, they don't care.
Yeah. What about Game 7, Big DK?
Well, that was Waylon's over there.
Waylon's pumping his fist right now.
We hadn't had Waylon up here the whole time. We made him go downstairs to play video games so we could record a little bit.
Get through the first, yeah.
But Waylon is the biggest bandwagon fan of any sport you'll ever see, son. If somebody wins a championship, Waylon's got the T-shirt, got the poster, Instagram post, son. He's all over it.
He was Golden State until Game 5.
Yeah, Golden State. He's a Seahawks fan because everybody from Tennessee's a Seahawks fan when they were beating up Peyton a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I didn't expect it early in the series, but I think I said last week as we recorded Sunday morning, I told you I didn't really like Golden State's body language that was going on. I looked like they were a beaten and tired team just because they went through so much better competition than Cleveland had. But all respect goes to LeBron.
I would say, regardless of what you go through, if you can't beat the last team, that really doesn't mean anything. That 72-10 record don't mean anything if you can't beat that last team.
Yeah, and really, we all give LeBron a hard time, and I have. And but I mean, all his haters have got to calm down. And James, I love James to death, and I agree with him as far as sports. And James is very knowledgeable about sports as well, as we found out on the show. He was. Yeah. But some of his criticism of LeBron, I think, gets a little harsh at times. Yeah. And this is coming from a guy that's not necessarily a LeBron fan, as I've stated pretty much every week on this show. I'm not, but I do appreciate his talents. And it's just the fact that James, he's so stubborn in his viewpoints. He's like, he's just backing them down, and he's not just backing people down.
Right.
Those last two games, I mean, Game 5, 41 points. Game 6, 41 points. Game 7, a triple-double. And one of the absolutely most ridiculous blocks I've ever seen in my life.
He had two of the most ridiculous blocks I've ever seen. He threw Steph Curry's layup back out into, row 10.
Yeah. And that was an awesome one.
Yeah,
but the last one when
he pinned it against the backboard. Gosh, that was nasty.
He's a freak of an athlete, and I just can't argue. And another guy, Carlos, that I know, he was like, "Oh, he's still not top 25 of all time." I was like, "What?"
LeBron's not top 25 of all time.
He's like,
you can be a hater. You can be one of LeBron's haters.
Well, let's be realistic here.
Let's be realistic.
He's top 10 of all time now.
Right now.
He said, "Well, until his body of work's done, I don't give him credit." And I said, he's got over 25,000 points and 3 rings. He's like, yeah, but he didn't earn those first two. Dwayne Wade got in those first two. And I said, I can't even have this conversation with you.
If he took Cleveland to the ring by himself on the third one, he had a big part in the first two. There's no doubt about that.
He was the man. He was more of the man.
D Wade, there's no taking anything back from D Wade.
D Wade's a top 20, 25 player of all time. Probably.
Great player. I mean, he's a fantastic player. The record books are going to show how good of a player he is. I mean, anybody you talk to from now going forward is going to say how good of a player he is. It's just not – there's just no contest. I mean, LeBron James is a top 10 or at least top 20 player of all time.
There's no 20. It's 10 right now.
It has to be. I'm just giving everybody a little wiggle room.
And it's just the haters are going to hate. And
haters going to hate.
But, I mean, to Carlos and to James, I mean – James just, and I love James to death, but he's stubborn in his viewpoints, and Carlos is just flat out hating right now because he's a Laker fan, and I can't take, I told him, I said, I can't even have this conversation. I can't take you serious right now. If you're saying LeBron did not carry them to the first two championships, yes, he had Bosh. Yes, he had, Ray Allen pulled out one of the greatest shots in NBA history in that last series with San Antonio. But, what is understated here is Kyrie Irving's importance to that series. I mean,
super important.
It can't. I mean, he hit the game-winning shot essentially.
I mean,
he had 41 also in Game 5.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, he won the game. He won the game. Had the last shot for him.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but somebody had to get him there. He didn't do it all by himself.
And LeBron actually had a disappearing act in the third quarter. You had J.R. Smith hitting a couple threes, and Kyrie pretty much carried him in the second half. LeBron did not have that great of a second half, but he had a big three late, had the block. It's a team effort, and I understand everybody saying, well, Kyrie should be an MVP. Well, shut up. No,
shut up.
Not
no,
really.
they weren't.
LeBron averaged ridiculous
He
numbers.
might have been the most valuable player in Game 7.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe. He didn't. Game 5, Game 6. That MVP is for the series. It's not for that one game.
Well, and just like LeBron had bad games, it's funny how fast things change when it comes to sports because Steph Curry was the media darling all year long.
All
right?
year long.
And what one game can do to one's legacy is unbelievable because if LeBron had not come up with that block and Kyrie had not hit that shot and Golden State could have just threw one in the ocean in the last 5 minutes, they had all the chance in the world to hit a shot. Yeah. So if they win that championship, we're sitting here talking about LeBron being 2-5 in the finals and how big of a choke artist he is.
Yep.
But like I said, the day after, we're not talking about Steph Curry anymore. And actually, he's getting a pretty big free pass because he did not have a very good finals at all.
No, he didn't.
And if it was the other way around, if it was LeBron having the series Steph Curry had, everybody would have just been losing their minds hating on LeBron.
They've been throwing him under the bus. And, regardless of how good your season was, 73-9? 73-9 doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing if you don't take a ring home.
Right now, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, I was about to say Steve Kerr, but he ain't laughing.
Yeah.
Luke Longley, Rodman, they're all saying once again that they're the greatest team.
And they are. 72-10. Took a ring home.
I would take the Bulls over Steph Curry's team. I would take anybody that Magic Johnson and Larry Bird played on. I would take my Shaq and Kobe Lakers of 01 over. It's just, and that brings us to another point that our good listener James Rinks, he called me flat out on Twitter this week.
What'd he say?
He private messaged me. He's like, I got a bone to pick with you. And I was like, God, what I didn't even see.
What'd I do?
I knew what I'd done. He said, I can't believe you're going to pick old school NBA over the new school. And I said, well, that's just my point of view. He said, you're just a stubborn old mule, DK. And he called me stubborn old everything else, too.
Yeah.
But,
you are a stubborn old mule. I don't.
Yeah, I'm stuck in my ways.
You are. You're stuck in your ways. But I seen Michael Jordan talking to a bunch of kids this weekend. He said, they asked him and said, he asked himself, he said, a lot of people said, can I beat LeBron James one-on-one in my prime? He said, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I love Michael Jordan. That was my time. That's when I grew up. Michael Jordan's my time when I grew up. LeBron James has got more body on him than Michael Jordan ever had. Michael Jordan's got to play Karl Malone with Michael Jordan's skills that whole one-on-one game. Karl Malone, if Michael Jordan went and played Karl Malone that whole game, he's going to beat him. But all of a sudden, LeBron James has got Magic Johnson skills.
I've always said LeBron James is Karl Malone and Magic Johnson's love child.
Put together. He's not going to beat him. Michael, he might. This is just me. This is me saying, this is my 2016 prejudice against Michael Jordan. And I love Michael Jordan. That's who I grew up against, But Michael Jordan, if you look at him, he had that long, lanky body or whatever. He's not going to go out there and be that physical. He's not going to be as physical as LeBron James wants to play that whole game.
Yeah, but he's mental, and I believe he'll
get in him.
I believe he could get in LeBron's head like no other.
He will. There's no doubt. There is absolutely no doubt that the rules of the NBA at that point in time that Michael Jordan was playing was so much looser that Michael Jordan has the skills to play that. But
well, the thing is, back in the 90s when Jordan played, people was hanging all over him, and there was a hand check. Back then everybody could hand check.
I think he's tougher. LeBron James is bigger.
Everybody's
no doubt.
Tougher.
There's no doubt. LeBron James is bigger. I think Michael Jordan's tougher.
I think anybody in that era is tougher because they had to go through it. They had to go through the bullying, and like I said, now you can't touch anybody at all to go into the lane. It's a foul. John Starks hung all over Michael Jordan. It's a debate. You can't
win it.
You can't. Hey, respect to the LeBron lovers, respect to the Michael lovers.
Yeah.
You cannot debate generations. You know what I'm saying?
You just can't debate generations. We've tried, and this is me being a LeBron lover, but Michael Jordan, I think, is going to beat him the whole way. He's going to beat him because LeBron James is going to be sitting there waiting on the refs to call a couple shots. He's going to be trying to talk.
I thought you said LeBron was going to win in 5 minutes. I thought you said LeBron was going to beat Jordan.
That's because you wasn't listening. Is what the thing was. Is what it was. And I was trying to say that Michael Jordan's going to win. I may have missed, but I think Michael Jordan's going to win that game the whole time.
I think I just talked you into Jordan beating him.
Did I?
I thought you was on LeBron's.
I was on Michael Jordan's team. Is what I was trying to get on.
Okay, well, Shane, what do you think about it?
Well, me and Dustin's been talking about this for some time, and this was one big thing that me and my grandpa, we would be out in the tobacco field or whatever, and he'd be like, all right, son, pick your team, and, of course, he was picking old school. Of course, old school, what we're talking about now is Jordan, Magic, Larry Bird, Spud Webb,
Yeah.
Well, you don't hear Spud Webb.
Yeah, Spud Webb, 5'1", dunking on kids.
5'1" and won the dunk contest.
Yeah, sure.
I think more than once. Spud did. But they have these shows now where they compare, people, the computer generated. It's all they put all the aspects in the computer. And it prints it out, and I would love to see that. I mean, that would really be something a man could almost send in to ESPN and say, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I think that it would be a good thing, but. The LeBron Jordan thing, I'm like you, Lucas. I love Jordan.
Love him.
I mean, he was a man of his time.
Yeah.
He is what he is. You know what you're getting. LeBron's a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would turn out. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I would love to see it. I wouldn't want to bet on it.
It would be so hard to bet on.
I would not want to bet on it, but I would love to see it.
Yeah. You'd be losing money. No matter what you did, you'd be losing money.
Well, and being the lover of big guys, I like to see a Shaq versus Wilt Chamberlain going on because that's the most two physically dominant forces that the NBA's ever seen.
Yeah.
And they always call it, like Shaq always said, I'm Wilt Chamberlain-easy. I'm the new school version.
Yeah.
So you'd like to see that.
Yeah.
You'd like to see, a lot of these guys match up with.
Who do you think from the old school matches up with Kobe Bryant, though?
Well, I think that Michael and Kobe.
That's the closest. Closer.
Well,
to me, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan's closer than LeBron.
Yeah, well, the thing about LeBron is it drives me crazy when they throw out the Magic or Michael comparisons because he's more Magic because he's more of all around. The most two complete players in NBA history is Magic Johnson and LeBron James.
Yep.
Because they can score, they can rebound, they can assist. I mean, Magic Johnson, when he was a rookie in 1979 and 80, Kareem got injured, couldn't play in the finals. Magic stepped in 6'9" as a center. Game, whatever clinching game it was, 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. As a point guard, starting at center in his rookie year. If that don't tell you his greatness right there. And LeBron's the same way. He's the most all-around package we've seen since Magic. Kobe is Jordan. I mean,
personified.
It's the closest thing we'll ever see to Michael Jordan. It's because he studied. He sat in Italy when he was a child, and he studied Michael Jordan tapes. And he walks like him. He talks like him. He presents himself. He wants to be Michael Jordan so bad he can't stand it.
Do you think that same question, if Michael asked that same question, could I beat Kobe Bryant, do you think he would say yes, or do you think he would say, of course? Like he
Michael
did.
Jordan thinks he can't lose to anybody, including Jesus. I promise you that. Michael Jordan does not lack confidence.
That's right.
And if he did, he'd lie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's never going to say, even when he's 75 years old, he'll say he can still beat him.
I'd go out there and I'd beat Kobe, is what he'd say.
Okay, to change the subject a little, 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Who's your man?
Steph Curry.
Larry Bird.
You think so?
I'm sorry, guys, but Larry Bird.
Larry Bird walked out there to the 3-point line, and he used that to intimidate people. They didn't know about it until Larry Bird came out there. Larry Bird came out there and just dropped 3-pointers on these kids all day long. They didn't know how to defend that. But that being said, Steph Curry will pull up at half court and drain these threes on kids.
But he just choked.
He choked.
Choked bad. Larry Bird never choked.
That's true. Larry Bird.
So comparison: Steph Curry, Larry Bird. Who wins?
Oh, I don't know.
We got to have an opinion.
You got to
It just depends if you're wide open or somebody's guarding you because they got all
That's
up
right.
they got up on him and
We hadn't brought Larry. Good defense. If it's defense from Larry Bird's time, Larry Bird. If it's defense from now, Steph Curry. Larry Bird didn't try to shoot from out there where Steph Curry did. He didn't have that ability. So if it's the rules in the NBA now, Steph Curry.
Right.
If it's rules in NBA from Larry Bird's time,
I don't know that Ray Allen and Reggie Miller don't get in this conversation because they're the two best shooters outside of. That's the two that
Reggie Miller's a big name.
And Reggie Miller always hitting the clutch. Another guy, well, I don't think he's there. The other four that we just mentioned, but Peja Stojakovic had a short little run with the Kings there for some years. He was a natural, pretty hot-headed shooter.
I don't even know that name. He must have been so short, I don't even know about it.
About 4 or 5 year period, he's about the best three-point shooter in the league.
That's hard to say. I think depending on the defense, depending on the NBA rules at that point in time, if we're going back to Larry Bird's rules, Larry Bird's going to kill Steph Curry all day long. Steph Curry obviously can't handle it. He proved in these finals that he can't handle that type of defense. He falls apart with it. But if you go into now, who shoots from that far? Who shoots as far out as Steph Curry does? You know what? Who does that?
It's almost ridiculous now how far out and are they not talking about a 4-point line?
Yeah.
Or did I dream that?
No, you're not dreaming that. They're talking about moving that line out. They talked about having a 4-point line. They said, well, I don't know about a 4-point line, but let's move that 3-point line out farther. That's something Dustin and I talked about one day, and they're talking about moving the 3-point out line farther again just because it's people like Steph Curry. Who's shooting from half court?
Right.
Who's shooting from out there?
I don't know about a 4-point line. That sounds crazy to me, but
yeah,
especially when Steph can.
That's absolutely crazy. But if people start warming up like Steph does, there was even videos of LeBron James at one point in time. I think it was even a commercial of LeBron James shooting from half court, or maybe even from the scores box over there.
I've seen Dwight Howard hit a full court shot before, and he can't hit a foul shot. So
I've seen him touch the top of the backboard.
The basic point is, like we just said, you can't. This is something we could debate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's just whatever you like best. And basically, Rink said, "Man, we're living right now in the NBA with the best athletes in the world." And I said, "Right." I said, I just cannot. They just don't appeal to me like the area I grew up in.
That's right.
And he said, well, I've been watching since I was 5, and I know he has. And I was telling Blake Allen, another one of our listeners, I said, Rinks is on me, man, about this basketball. He's like, he's a baseball player. He can't talk basketball with us, you know. So,
yeah.
But no, and I said, well, okay. I said, I'm a LeBron fan. I said, I love watching Steph and Clay. I love watching the OKC boys with Durant and Westbrook.
Yeah.
I said, I love D Wade. I said, well, tell me somebody other than that, and he names off. He starts talking. He's like Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, Paul George, John Wall, and he names off a list of probably like 10 guys.
Yeah,
and,
but my thing is with those guys, Waylon is sitting here. He's not going to remember those guys. You know, we all remember Michael Jordan. We all remember. Wilt Chamberlain. He's not going to remember those guys. Those are just role players. I disagree with that. He said John Wall, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Porzingis, Klay Thompson, Draymond, Paul George. And other than Kyrie Irving, I don't know a person you just said.
Well, you just don't follow it as much because those are all.
But those are the people that's going to be remembered. You know, the people that make it on ESPN, the people that make it everywhere. Those are people that are going to remember. That's the people that Waylon's going to remember.
Well, I mean, John Wall, he's the best player on the Wizards. Karl Anthony Towns had a great rookie season just now with the Timberwolves. Wiggins, Timberwolves, they're both back-to-back Rookie of the Years. Kawhi Leonard, Finals MVP for the Spurs. Kyrie, then Porzingis is a foreign player from the Knicks. Klay Thompson, Draymond. Paul George had a coming-out party against the Heat a couple years ago against LeBron. Then he broke his leg.
Ooh.
All these guys, here's the thing what I told Rinks. When I grew up, all the best players in the league were on good teams because they were that impactful that they made sure their teams were 50-win teams in the playoffs. All these guys like John Wall, that the East is terrible, couldn't get the Wizards to the playoffs. Paul George, I don't know if they make the playoffs. If not, they didn't do anything. I'm really excited about the Timberwolves. They're coming on with Towns and Wiggins. But, like, a lot of these guys, like, you've got to have an impact on your team. Like you said, are they going to be remembered? Are they the all-time greats?
Right. Are they fantastic?
You know, but no, that whole list is very entertaining now. I like watching those guys.
It's fantastic. It's a great list. Cincinnati, Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin, remember when he played for
Cincinnati
in college?
Yeah.
You remember he was the biggest name in college basketball, NCAA basketball at that point in time. He broke his leg at the foul line. You remember that?
Yeah.
What was it, game 3 of something?
I don't know.
He was supposed to be the biggest name in the NBA history at that point in time. Broke his leg, wound up going to NBA, but what did he do when he got there?
He had a decent career.
Yeah.
He played on the team.
He had a decent career
for the Nets that went to the finals.
He didn't live up to his expectations because something happened. I just don't believe that most of those guys, regardless of what they're supposed to do or what they're going to do or blah blah blah, until they do it, they're not there.
Yeah, I agree. All the potential in the world, but potential only buys the groceries for so long.
It only buys the groceries for so long.
I'm excited to see the Timberwolves with Andrew Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns continue to grow, and Zach LaVine. Mm-hmm. And they just Chris Dunn, they just drafted him out of Providence. I really think they're the next up-and-coming team in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And I think I really hate that Anthony Davis signed an extension with the Pelicans because I think he needs to be on a team where they can win now. But like I said, back then you won with the team you had.
That's right.
But anyway, we can talk about NBA for days.
I would say NBA. I mean, that'll last forever. But what about UFC?
Finally, Phil Brooks, known as to most of us as CM Punk, is going to finally make his.
CM Punk's finally coming out. What do you think about it? As somebody that doesn't watch as much UFC as I do, what do you think about CM Punk coming to UFC?
I think he's going to get his ass kicked.
He's going to. CJ Mack, I apologize. I know he's been training with one of the Gracies. It doesn't matter. To me, it does not matter that CM Punk's been training with one of the Gracies. He's only been training for X number of years, 5, 6 years. That's nothing compared to these guys that are coming up right now that's been training for the last 15 years to get into the UFC to whip anybody that's coming up through there. CM Punk's a WWE crossover. That's all he's ever going to be.
Well, but he's got a mixed martial arts background also, and for me,
he's got a mixed martial arts background of jumping off the top rope. He's got a mixed martial arts background of throwing some suplexes. He's got a mixed martial art background.
No, I think he's got it. I mean, I think he's got that style, and he's trained long enough. To me, the reason I don't think he'll do well is because it's so late in the game. He's 37 years old, 38. It's a little late in the game for him to get into this, and he's had some injuries. Like I said, he's postponed twice for back issues.
Yeah.
So,
and you know as well as I do, I mean, are you as quick as you were compared to when you was 25?
I wasn't quick at 25. I damn sure ain't now.
Right. I mean, what is that? What is that? I don't understand what he thinks he's going to do. I mean, CM Punk, I applaud it. As an older guy now, and older being 31, as an older guy, I applaud him trying to get into the game now. And it's going to be a huge draw, a huge crossover draw for the WWE, UFC. It's not going anywhere for CM Punk.
No, and I mean, he's not associated with WWE whatsoever. They had a kind of a falling out, so he's not on good terms with him like Brock is. Brock's actually still actively employed, and CM Punk is not. They had a pretty bad falling out actually. So, actually, they sent him his termination papers on the day of his wedding.
CM Punk
with a former, and he was marrying a diva at the time who was employed, but she's asked for her release since then.
Still employed?
No, she asked for her release also since then. So,
I hope he does well. The only thing I hope for CM Punk is I hope for us older guys that he doesn't embarrass himself. That's what I hope for. I don't care if he loses. I just don't care if he loses. I hope that he doesn't. I just hope that he don't embarrass himself.
Right.
I did misspeak about Brock Lesnar the other day though. He did get exemptions from the UFC.
He's had like 5 tests since then, right?
He has. He's had a bunch of tests since then. What his exemption was for the 4 month before. So, by the UFC rules, what the test qualifications are is that for the 4 months before a fight, you have to be tested.
That makes everybody feel a lot better, I think.
Everybody feels a lot better.
I don't think that the guy he's fighting,
Mark Hunt,
I don't think he cares either
he
way. Like I said, he's going to knock him out, steroided up or not.
So what the test is that everybody has to be, from 4 months out, you have to be tested. So what not LeBron. I've got LeBron on my mind.
We're still on basketball.
Yeah, here we are still on basketball. So what Brock got exempted from was for that 4 months previous period. He just got brought on too late. He got brought on way too late. So they're going to test him from the time that he signed going forward. He's going to be tested. So he will be tested.
Yeah.
Well, here's
hoping Brock Lesnar just comes out and stomps Mark Hunt, because I'm a Brock Lesnar fan. I'm a Brock Lesnar believer. He's an attraction. I don't care if it's UFC. The buy rate's going to be out the roof because Brock Lesnar's finally coming back.
This will be the absolute biggest pay-per-view of all time.
Brock's the man.
But is it not? Is it getting in that bad a shape that they've got to bring Brock back? I mean, Brock has paid his dues. I think I'm like Dustin. You know,
Brock's paid those dues. That's
Brock
exactly right.
Has paid his dues. So I mean, I don't keep up with it, but is it getting so low that they're having to bring people like Brock back?
It wouldn't had they not lost Conor McGregor. That card is stacked. That's probably one of the best absolute fight cards of all times. That card is going to be a monster. I mean, if you got $59.99 to pay this year to buy this card. UFC 200 is going to be a monster. The thing about UFC 200 with LeBron,
shut the hell up about LeBron. I'm so sick about LeBron. Get off his nuts.
Yeah, the thing about Brock coming back is how big that's going to be. He's the absolute biggest UFC draw of all time. Brock is huge. Brock's a monster, and that's because of that WWE crossover.
I'm glad to see you ain't got loose shorts on today talking about Brock and LeBron.
I love these two guys. I absolutely love these two guys.
I like Brock a lot better than LeBron.
Yeah, you know, the poor thing about Brock is who he had to fight. They didn't give him any breaks coming back into this UFC. They gave him Mark Hunt. Oh my God, they gave him Mark Hunt. Did anybody when Brock said, "Yeah, I'll come back and fight," did anybody say, "Yeah, you got to fight Mark Hunt"? I guarantee you they didn't, because he'd went, "Hold on.
Think about that.
Hold on. Is that the guy that knocks everybody out?" Yeah, that's him. No, I don't want to fight them. I don't want to fight him. I want to fight somebody else. That's what he just said. If they'd have told him who he's going to fight.
Going back to Brock and a lot of the old school wrestlers, here we go. Waylon, I've watched him grow up through social media.
Yeah.
And every Christmas it's wrestling rings, it's
yep.
Rey Mysterio mask. I've watched him.
Yeah.
And that was just like Dustin was. When you come in Ma Bell's house, Ma Bell had one door in that house that you used.
Yeah.
You come in the back door, you come in the kitchen, you went to the living room. And me and Dustin's cousin used to run around a whole lot, Sean, and Wildcats. And you would walk in the living room. You never knew if you was going to get drop kicked, if you were going to try to get suplexed, And I look at Waylon now, and I'm like, that's the same. Waylon is growing up exactly like Dustin did.
Yeah.
And, of course, my Papa that Dustin talked about in an earlier episode, he was the only one in North Springs. He had one of those big 12-foot satellite dishes.
Yeah.
Dustin would go down there on Monday nights to watch wrestling or whatever night it was on back then, And him and my grandpa were so close. Papa talked about him all the time. But, you get in, like we were talking earlier with LeBron and Jordan, I would like to see some of these, you go back talking about wrestlers, Ric Flair,
Oh, yeah.
These guys now, could they keep up with the old school guys? I mean, of course, that's another thing to talk about on another episode maybe, but.
I'll tell you about that. Of course, I still follow it a little bit. And Bret Hart had a great quote. He's like, all of us guys from the 80s and 90s, of course, they're all passing away, a lot of them, from the activities they partook in after the show ended. They were taking their uppers after the show, but then they were still up at 5 a.m. when they had to go to the next town, so they was taking their downers, come off of their uppers, and then they all had that juice enhancement that make their muscles bigger going on, and had their everybody was juicing in the 80s and 90s, and But anyway, he said we'd go out to the clubs and we'd go see the girls and stuff. And he said, we lived the lifestyle. We our characters, like Ric Flair said, the Rolexes and the limousine riding, jet flying, wheeling, dealing, something, whatever, the Ric Flair deal was. He lived his lifestyle. Like, he actually went and bought limos, and he had the $5,000 suits and the $2,000 shoes, and he lived his gimmick. And Bret Hart said that everybody actually, they partied to the fullest in the 80s, 90s. He said, now you come back, and he come back in like 2010 or 9 for a little small appearance. He said, all these guys are hopped up on energy drinks playing Xbox in the back all the time. He said, there ain't no...
Yeah.
Because they got the wellness policy, and they got all the other stuff, and they try to avoid all the people dying so young.
Yeah.
But now, I don't know. I just think that the lifestyle they live sounds a little more fun than Xbox and Monster drinks to me. But.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Waylon this question. Waylon, who's the biggest wrestler out there right now? Is it Batista, or I don't keep up with it anymore. So.
Waylon is finally making his One Lane Road podcast debut. He's been begging for this for 9 weeks.
What do you mean by big? Like
the biggest guy. Who's the biggest?
Who's the man right now? If you're going to watch it.
Who's the man?
I don't know.
Is it Batista?
He's gone.
Is Brock still out there? I mean, is it CM Punk? I mean, is it? I seen a new guy that looks somewhat like, he's got that long hair, kind of biker style. I don't know who he is. I don't keep up with the names of it. Long haired, black haired guy.
Wouldn't you say John Cena's probably still the man?
Yeah.
He's the top star right now, wouldn't you say?
Probably.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Rey Mysterio still.
Rey Mysterio.
Wait, we don't watch it. Like, I don't watch it a lot. So therefore, how he don't watch it a whole lot.
Daddy lie. He's still Monday Night Raw.
What? Tell him you've been to. You just asked me on the way over here if we could go back to one, right?
Yeah. I want to get the same seats as we did at Night of Champions. It was the perfect seat.
Perfect seat. Perfect.
Well, that's just being an awesome dad, like usual. Yeah. That's all that is.
I want to see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose fight in our row again.
Yeah.
I took Devin one time to Monday Night Raw. I had just started working where I'm at now, and it was in '97. And gosh, we were so big in wrestling then.
Yeah.
And
well, that was the heyday. That was it.
That was the heyday. That's when satellite TV was just coming out and everything. We had more than 2, 4, and 5 in North Springs.
Yeah.
And sometimes we could pick Channel 8 up, but me and Devin went to Nashville, and it was our first big trip out by ourselves. And we went to Monday Night Raw, and it was like best thing I'd ever done.
Best thing ever, yeah.
So big into wrestling. I mean, we never missed an episode, And then, I guess you just kind of, I don't know if you get bored with it or you just grow out
something
of
happens,
it
right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and I hear a lot of people saying this. That was the actual. That business peaks. Like, it has the boom periods, right? Mm-hmm. And when we were growing up, in the late 80s, early 90s, you had your boom period with the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Ric Flair. That was an era right there. And Sting and those guys. So
love Sting.
Right. So it went through like kind of a lull period when they indicted Vince McMahon on the steroid trial, 92, 93, 94. Kind of went through some dead periods there. Then you hit the 97, 98, like Shane just said, and you hit the Austin and Rock and DX, and you had the NWO and WCW. You had the big boom period there. And I'm going to tell you something. There's no way in history it's ever going to be as big as it was in 1996 through 1999, because you had WCW over here with the NWO. You had the the Horsemen, all this stuff with Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hogan, Sting, Flair, and then WWE counterparted with Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Rock, Austin. I mean, there was no better time to be a wrestling fan than that era. And we were teenagers, and they were shooting birds and drinking beer and pointing at their crotch and had to have naked women. And son, being a young boy going through puberty.
That's the best thing ever.
Testosterone-filled 14-year-old son. That was the best TV you could see.
And the only time you seen it was on Monday nights. It's not like now where we've got the internet and we're all sitting there on our phones
all
pulling
the time.
stuff up. You get information right now. Back then it was once a week. You got information once a week. And that was it.
Yeah.
And the ratings were a big deal because they were competing against each other. It was their livelihood back then. And now everybody's got DVR and it kind of skews the ratings. You can't tell really what people's watching at the time. But what I've heard a lot of people say is, and it goes back to NBA. Well, I hadn't really watched the NBA since Jordan retired. A lot of people about wrestling will say, well, I hadn't really watched wrestling since Stone Cold quit.
Right.
Because it was the boom period.
Yep.
But anyway, I don't even know how we got off on all that. But that's actually.
I think it was my fault.
No, that was an awesome rant.
Dusty Smith will love this because Dusty Smith, one of our best listeners and sponsors,
in WWE talk.
Yeah, he loves wrestling. He said his girlfriend gets tired every time she goes over to his house. He's WWE'd up. But Shane is right because I had the wrestling belts and son, I lived it. I mean, Waylon's not even nowhere near the level I was.
Right.
I've still got a picture sitting with Vivian and Sam in the living room of the house, and I've got the WWE Championship strapped across my shoulder.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I was ate up with it, and so Waylon had no choice.
So as far as the UFC 200 goes, I absolutely want Brock to win.
Yes,
he's not going to do it. I think he's a great fighter. He come into UFC, he showed his talents. He's obviously got that striker's background. He's obviously got that NCAA wrestling background. But Mark Hunt, I believe, is going to overwhelm him. That's my take on it. I don't know what your take is.
I don't know. I don't watch it enough. I'm self-admitted. I don't watch a lot of UFC. I'm going to try to start because since we are kind of going that direction here some.
If I'm going to watch NBA, you got to watch UFC.
And you watch the CMT Awards.
I did.
Jesus
I really
Just
did.
don't talk about that ever.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Don't talk about it
again.
the next year.
Yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, well, I'm going to get more into it. I'm rooting for Brock, and just because I've seen Mark.
If he
Hunt,
wins, that's going to be huge.
Well, I mean,
what's the official date on the UFC 200?
July 9th.
Yep, there you go.
Lindsay is just this vacation we're going on is just completely
screwing everything.
I'm missing Guns N' Roses, and I finally got over it. Then they announced Chris Stapleton as the opener. So it's about grounds for divorce that she's making me go to.
Lindsay's just come up. I hope she feels bad right now. I hope she feels bad.
She don't
care. She just shook her head. She don't care a bit.
Shit, no, she don't care. She don't care. And I said, we've got the whole month of July. We could book a vacation, but you want to book it on the day Guns N' Roses is coming back for the first time in 23 years.
Yeah.
No big deal. Finally got over it. Didn't carry more than all of a sudden Chris Stapleton opens. Which
Bam.
God knows Chris Stapleton's not a hard ticket to get these days.
Yeah, he's awful. Who wants to go see that guy?
You see him for $5.
Yeah,
anywhere.
who wants to go see Chris Stapleton?
So anyway, then the next day is UFC. But I think if we're in Tampa, I'll probably try to hit up a Hooters.
Oh yeah, it'll be at every place that buys them. Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely try to be watching UFC 200 in Tampa.
Yeah, get to that kind of late. I mean, there's going to be some really big shows there, but if there's some big fights happening that if you don't follow up real closely, you're not going to know the names anyway.
Trying to finish this up because we've been trying to stay about the hour and 15 mark. Put out the thing on Facebook this week and got just a bigger response than I could ever imagine about T-shirts. I never thought that many people would want T-shirts. People was asking for youth sizes for their kids.
How about them apples?
Man, this is even cooler 10 weeks in than we could ever imagine it's been.
That's
like
for
I
sure.
said, if you're on board with us, thank you. If you still think it's a joke, whatever. But
yeah,
hey, man, this is what we're doing and we're enjoying it.
We love it.
And it's just awesome that many people want the shirts. Yeah,
spread the word too. We had a great big following right there at the very first 2 or 3 weeks, and a lot of that may have been people just trying to check it out and see what it was, but this keeps going because y'all keep listening. So spread the word. If you got somebody that hadn't been listening, obviously it's going to take a while to get this spread out there, but go ahead and spread it out there. Let people know about it.
And Dustin, let everybody know how they can pay for the shirts because I get the updates, where I responded to it.
Yeah.
And something come up about PayPal or something. So how does everybody pay you guys for the shirts? Because I bought one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, if you see me or Lucas, either one, if you see us out, but we're going to need it. this week probably when I get up with everybody. If you can see us and give us the money for the shirt, that's great. If anybody needs to PayPal, my PayPal is DREKennedy83 Just send that friends and family, so I don't have to pay a fee on your T-shirts.
Yeah.
They will let you send it friends and family to me. I'll take care of that. One thing we do want to mention is I've mentioned it on the Facebook post, but we're getting the soft, like, kind of vintage fit T-shirt that everybody seems to be going to. Like, if you go to a concert, everybody's going to that vintage fit, soft style.
Feels so much better when you put them on. You don't have that big, thick, heavy feel to it. You know, you don't have to feel like you got to wear it in or what have you.
They're just cool shirts, man. And but what I do want to stress out to you guys is they run a little small, so I'm definitely getting upsized where I'm out of shape. And the guy that we're getting the T-shirts from, his actual description was, if you're an athletic, if you're in shape, you're fine with the shirt you usually wear. If you're a lazy couch potato bum with a little bit of jelly belly, you might want to upgrade your size to
I'm going to go ahead and throw that extra size on
there. I'm upgrading, and so I think the double XLs might run us an extra $1 or so, but look, appreciate you guys that reached out and want the shirts. Y'all are going to look damn good wearing the old One Lane Road podcast shirts, and we love
y'all. Look awesome in them.
Hey, it's I'd wear one if I wasn't up here doing the talking.
There you go.
And everybody needs to wear one. Waylon's even going to get one, I think.
Waylon's going to have to wear it whether he wants to or not.
I have to pay him to wear it.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's one thing we got going on. Just we'll talk to everybody about that, but like I said, humbled by the amount of people that actually
awesome made it worth it. All these questions we had the last couple of weeks, whether people are listening or not, really, what it was is that's been awesome. So we really appreciate it.
And I think I had another question I got in last night when I was in Nashville, and I just remembered it for obvious reasons.
He's searching through his phone right now, so let's give him just a second here. 1, 2.
No. Blake Allen wanted to know, Lucas, did you put on a Jordan jersey after the podcast, and did it fit?
Did I put it on? Yes. Did it fit? No, it didn't fit. I've not wore it since I was a little kid.
It didn't fit then?
No, it didn't fit then. I made it over my head. The hole made it over my head, but it got it down to my shoulders, and that was it. My chest and big belly wouldn't let it do nothing.
Hey, I still have my Jordan jersey from like 92.
You might fit in it. You look like you're still playing ball.
Well, just because you're thin doesn't mean everything's good.
Hey, he's saying he's thin, but he's got abs. He stood up a while ago and had abs in our picture, so he's just kidding around, guy.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I said. It is what it is.
Yeah, we look like two obese whales standing next to him in this picture.
Y'all wait till y'all see this picture.
I worked out 4 times a week. I went to the gym. I even got up and went early. Worked out 4 times this week.
Yeah.
Then I went to the spot Friday after I got off work.
And ruined it.
I had a steak and potatoes, so that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
But then yesterday I went to Nashville for like 6 hours, and like the Crab Shack and Broadway and 2nd Avenue. And
hey, I did really good all week right up until the baby reveal.
Then you ate just like crap?
I ate everything. My wife, my grandmother, my mother, her grandmother, everybody fixed stuff. They fixed sweets. I just got in it. I couldn't quit eating it. I had 3 cupcakes and 2 little chocolate hand pies and fried this and fried that. I couldn't quit eating.
Well, when you're pretty, you can be fat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so one of these days I'm going to be prettier or fat, so we'll figure out what it is.
I'm not going to be on the cover of any Muscle and Fitness magazine
anytime
soon, I don't believe. But,
well, let's go ahead and cut this thing, Big Daddy. You got something else you want to plug?
I just want to say thank you to Shane. And
Shane, man, this has been awesome. This has been the best, absolute best backdrop we could ask for.
And I just want to thank you guys for coming because, when I heard you guys started this, I'm like, what can I do to help? And here it is summertime, and I thought, what a better setting. And I'm glad you guys came.
Yeah.
I was really nervous when Dustin told me you were coming. I was like, gosh, what do I do now? But, I just try to support you guys in every way. I try to get the word out there. And,
man, we really appreciate it.
What is it about the show that really draws you? Actually, I've wanted to make this is something I'd like to ask all of our listeners and our supporters. What is it that brings you to the show every week?
what is it that brings me to the show? It's just the, talking about everyday life.
Yeah.
Sports. And I don't keep up with basketball like you guys do.
Right.
I watch ESPN every now and then. I'm like every other guy. I watch ESPN of a morning, and then I go to work and talk about, like I watched the whole game the night before.
Right.
And, you only talk about the highlights.
Yeah.
But, just because you guys are local guys.
Yeah.
You're talking about hometown stuff. You're talking about things that interest me, and
got that same accent you do got, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's I'm sort of like you, Lucas. I've got a voice for radio and a face for radio and a, how do you say it?
I say I've got a face for radio and a voice for hand modeling.
That's me.
There you go.
There I go again, messing it up. So, no, I've brought on a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but several.
Hey,
people
man,
the
you
last
brought
couple
on
of weeks,
you brought on a bunch, and we appreciate
it.
it.
I tell everybody that I know about it. And, I'm just glad you guys came out today.
Oh, it was fantastic. We've appreciated it.
Here, and we've been watching boats go by all afternoon, and life is good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
it's
I just
awesome.
want to thank you guys.
Well, we
sitting up
appreciate
there
it,
with
Shane.
your buddies and your family, and you're watching over Dale Hall Lake, and you're. I'm looking for this roadblock. I wish they'd held off on this roadblock for another day, so I had a little more entertainment.
Yeah.
But you make your own entertainment, and I'm about to peel my big old butt in this water here in a minute.
Yeah.
And anyway, Shane, it's been a pleasure.
We love you,
awesome.
Shane. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Also, we'll just continue the word. It's all, like I said, right now our views have been down the last few weeks. Just I think it's summertime blues going on, but
we're going to keep it going. Guys, we'll be here in the winter whenever y'all got done paddling out here on this water. And
next week we should have some finalized plans on the fundraiser that I've been hinting around about. I just don't want to put anything out there until it's official.
Put it out until it's official.
For our plug, at OLR Podcast on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, DREKennedy_83, and Lucas is LG Hickman 21 on Twitter.
That's it. I'm LG Hickman 21 wherever you go.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening. This is the latest episode of the One Lane Road Podcast.
Now let's get in the water.
See you.
See you.